Imani means believing in yourself. They have so much to look forward to because we know they can have a different way of looking at their dreams and goals. Getting them at that stage makes it easier for us to focus and train them in the skills that we're trying to achieve. My name is Keziah Murugi. I am the founder and director of Imani Women Empowerment Program, which is a skills training program for teen moms and young vulnerable women in our society. My role at Imani Women Empowerment Program is to be a director. I direct things like who is coming in to train them. I have to ensure that they have security in terms of who gets close to them because of the trauma they have experienced, and just to make sure that they are taken care of as a home and a place for them to acquire these skills. It's not an easy task, but knowing the things that we know about women and their basic needs and their provisions, I act as a mom as well. But mainly I just channel my energy into making sure that the girls attend classes and they are in the program without any disruption from outside forces. So that's my main role. Many of the women that come across Imani are young women who have fallen pregnant in their teenage years. They were facing an issue like dropping out of school, or they have already dropped out of school. The other thing is we also look at young women who have been out of school and out of a job without a skill, and they come in and we're able to cater for them in the skills training program. Some of our girls come from Western Kenya, which is in Webuye, Bungoma, Kakamega. We also have some that have come from Nyandarua. Recently, we've also been accommodating those who have come from Kakuma refugee camp. And those are the people mainly that we have in our program. But we also include girls that are coming from the slum area, like Kawangware, Kangemi. We've had those coming into the program and learning how to sew clothes. Some of the girls that we've come across have gone through very terrible situations like trauma. They fell pregnant. The responsibility hangs on them solely because they were teenagers. They end up having the responsibility to take care of their children and babies. And it becomes very hard when you do not have a skill to go out there and work. So most of them end up being employed as house helps or house managers, as we refer them. But Imani Program now gives them the alternative. What if they had a second lease in transforming their lives? These young women are very young. They are teenagers. They are 17, they are 18, and they have so much to look forward to. And so for us, getting them at that stage helps us to see that they can have a new way of looking at their dreams and achieving their goals. And so Imani is there to help them with that. Imani means believing in yourself. That's where the name came from. And so we ask them to forget about everything they have gone through, not because we want them to forget, but because we know they can have a different way of looking at their dreams and goals. And we want to focus on that mainly. Anything that they have gone through, like trauma caring, we are able to handle that at the program, where we have different sessions for them to be able to focus on what they came here to do. One of the major things that we also offer is for them to stay in-house with us. That is because these girls come from very far. And commuting and coming every morning and leaving in the evening is not an option. And we also felt that when they're in-house, you're able to cater for them together. They get to have a friend. They get to have someone who has gone through a similar or close, situation like them. And so when they're together, it makes it easier for us to focus and train them in the skills that we are trying to achieve. My passion to train young women was because it was born from a situation that I experienced a while back. Back in 2020, I was able to come across a young lady. Her name is Mary. And I was working with a different organization by then, and I had met this young girl through the mom, who was a widow that the previous organization we were catering for those widows. And seeing her, she looked disoriented, she looked unkept, and for a young woman who was 17 at the time, it begged a question to ask what was happening, what was going on with her life. And then she requested to have a talk with me at the time when I was there. Mainly she was requesting for prayers because I had a team of people who had come from overseas, and she just believed that if anyone would be able to come and pray for the son, then it would be a situation where the prayers would be heard and maybe the son would get healing. But upon looking at it, we noticed it was a medical condition, and I decided to talk to her about maybe getting an opinion from a specialist to see what was wrong with the son. And we ended up knowing that the cause was a situation where the child had cerebral palsy and part of her brain was dead. And it meant that this young man would never walk. And so Mary at 17 was faced by a situation where she could not be able to handle a baby who had special needs or who was able differently, and at the same time could not even have employment. And when I brought her to Nairobi, she stayed at my house together with the former organization that I worked with. We supported her medical checkup for the son, but she stayed with me, she lived with me in the house, and we got to talking, and she shared about having a dream to just be a tailor. And when I talked to her in depth, and she was describing how that would be able to help her in a situation where she would be able to raise her child, even as they lived in Kinangop, I took an interest. And so I told her I'll find somebody who would be able to help her, because here was a young girl who is a mother with a special needs baby, and she needed to work and finance the very heavy and burden medical bills that arise from a child with special needs who needed to do physiotherapy every week. And so I offered to take her to this course. I found a lady, Lucy, a friend of mine, who runs a tailoring shop, and I was able to talk to her about housing Mary in her home and just being able to train her in tailoring. So I offered to do the basic things like just taking her there and making sure she's there right in class. But this lady, just because of how Mary's condition was, offered to live with her in the period where she would be training. And so my work was, lifted. That burden was lifted from me, and I was able to talk to to Sammy, the young man's grandmother, and I was able to talk to Mary's mother about just having the grandmother stay with the baby for the 3 months while Mary undertook the training. And so Lucy opened her home, and she was able to stay there. She trained in tailoring, and at the same time, Lucy did even so much more, and she was able to take her to see all these places in town where she can get fabric, she can get threads, and that's how Mary's story started to change. I'm talking about this story, this particular story, because it's from there that I understood what tailoring would mean for this young woman. Once she was so passionate about it, she went ahead and studied, and it was not theory, it was practical, but she ended up opening her own shop later on in Mudurwa, where she runs repairs shop. She gets, customers from the bus conductors, the drivers who have torn clothes, the women at the market. They come in for Mary's help to assist in repairing their torn clothes. And as we speak, Mary now owns a parcel of land back in Kinangop. Sammy, the son, has been going through physiotherapy without any, hiccups. And so what that did, the sacrifice that Mary gave by allowing herself to go back and study for 3 months has helped her not to need anybody to hold her hands. And that's what we call Hands Up Ministry. And for me, when I looked at how Mary transformed her life, I was able to come up with, more ideas on how now these other girls that have fallen pregnant, can come in place and find their footing at one point. There's another story of a girl who, her name is Milka. Milka has her whole face burnt, and she was a tailor. She had trained as a tailor, but no one had ever given her time to train on the job, because every time she would apply for the position and she appeared, they would shy away from employing her because they would say she would scare away some of the clients that they are expecting. And so Milka stayed in a situation where she had to lock herself indoors, and she got burnt as a baby. It was never her fault, but the condition of her body makes it hard for her to be accepted by the society. So tailoring for me comes in as the number one skill that I felt these women would come out of, either working from home, taking care of their babies, and even trying to figure out what next about their life. But as we leave these girls in a situation where they do not have anything to hang on, it makes them vulnerable even more. They end up thinking about how else can they provide for their families. And that is the hard thing the hard question that I had to respond to. Keziah was born in Busia County. Right now it's a county, but I grew up in Busia and then we moved to Nairobi. I come from a family of 8 children, 5 boys and 3 girls. I feel like most of my life has been around so many different communities that I felt welcomed in every society. I understand several languages, not speaking them, but mainly I can understand most of the dialects that we have in Kenya. And in my background in education, I did finance and marketing back in USIU. So I've worked with widows before in Kinangop from about 2009 to 2020. That's when I was working with widows. We did empowerment back in Kinangop. We trained widows in jewelry making and basket weaving, and then would have value added on the items like kiondo. We would put leather on them, and then we would ship those in the US for sale, and then the money would come back and help these widows in building washrooms that they can attend to, that would cater for their needs. If you've been to the rural areas, you know how the washrooms are. And so our main target during my work with the widows was to make sure they live a decent life. Some of our widows and old grannies were left in very dire situations. And so I felt like these are our mothers, these are our grandmothers. And so if we showed them how to just live a decent life, that would be all that they need. And that's when I met a lot of, among these widows, that's when I met very young women who have been left with children. And these are the girls I'm talking about. So many young girls did not have a husband, but they had children. And so these grandmothers were left also caring for their grandchildren. And so it was a hard decision on how now this is supposed to help. Because if it's a small house, you wonder how many people can fit in. And so some of these are the things that I've been affiliated with. As a woman, I felt I understood so much that these women were going through, because you have the responsibility of, not just caring for this baby, but you give birth to them, and then the responsibility falls on them. And so I realized when you give a woman a job, most of the money that they're going to earn is actually going to be for the entire family, because they'll buy food, they'll pay for school fees, they will be able to buy clothing for their children. And so my passion arose from that. Who is a woman? And, that is how I became passionate about women. Because I realized with the widows, they were left with children. Their husbands passed on. It was not their choosing, but they found themselves being widows. The resilience, the hope, and the faith they had in themselves in just continuing their family after their spouse departed is what gave me strength in what we are able to apply with our young women today. It doesn't matter in what life you lose your partner, or they choose to walk away, or you're left alone. The responsibility that I saw these widows handling by themselves made me have a lot of admiration with the women, especially our women in the rural areas who have very little, yet the responsibilities are so much. And so seeing how these widows would be able to provide for their families, and we are talking about big families. We are talking about a widow with 9 children, with 5 children. I think the least that I ever worked with had about five children, but they had so many grandchildren, and all of them depended on the income they would get from the farm. And so I realized then that with little resources they can achieve that much. What if you give them a skill that would require very little effort? Our widows, just a comparison, is that our widows would wake up around 4 a.m. in the morning to go and till a farm. But if you gave a girl, a young person, a sewing machine for them to work on, that would be easier. It makes it easier for them to even earn more, and for them not to work less. Not work less in a sense of energy input, but I'm talking about working in an easy environment. How do we make it easier for these women to find fun and be there working for something that will support their family without having to wake up at 4 a.m.? Imani means belief or faith. It's founded for me as a Christian organization because it requires somebody to have faith in themselves and in God for them to move forward. Sometimes the circumstances can be so heavy on someone's life that you feel like you have no hope. But having faith on new chances or new things that can come up, I felt that is the drive that we need for these young women. And so that's how we came up with the name Imani. So currently we have tailoring as one of the skills that we are offering. We plan to have more, like beauty and hairdressing, cooking, recycling, beadwork. Those are also in the pipeline, and computer skills. But currently we started with tailoring because it is a skill that a young person can grow from and be a fashion designer. They can decide to do so many other things to earn an income. And so Imani Program, training these young women in sewing, we are able to train them in machine peddling. We are also able to teach them on how to design a product, whether they are interested in making shoes, or they want to do a bag, or they want to do a dress, whether it's pants or t-shirts or shirts. We are giving them an opportunity to know how these products come in place. And One of the things that the girls enjoy in the program is actually knowing that what they wear is something that they're able to do, and for people to appreciate the uniqueness in how they're able to create something from a fabric. With tailoring, the fun part is because these girls come from the rural areas. Most of them come in places where we do not have power, electricity. And so with tailoring, I felt like if they had a manual machine, they can set it up back in their house and start doing repairs or making clothes for people without necessarily needing power to connect and do these things. So for me, starting with tailoring was the convenience that tailoring offers. It is convenient for these young women, either from a place where they have power or they don't. If they have electricity nearby or not, if they can afford to rent a place to work on, like a shop, or they can work from home. So it gives a lot of flexibility. And it can also give them another flexibility of raising their children as well as working at the same time. Their baby can be sitting close to them as they worked on their machine. So that is why tailoring was the first option in our training program. Teen moms, for me, I felt sometimes our society judges them too tough. Most of them are still young children. They slipped, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Some of it is something that is a mistake. And so having teenage young mothers having to go through this and live up to the mistake all their lives didn't sit well with me. I'm a mother of 2 girls, and so imagining that there's a situation where a young girl fell pregnant, and because of that one issue, they cannot pursue their education or they cannot continue with their daily lives and enjoying their lives as young people, did not sit well with me. It needed bravery for me as an African, as a Kenyan, to say that we should hold their hands, they should go through a training. And during that time, when they're with us for the 6 months, we get to talk. We have counseling sessions. We have sessions where we let them speak their mind on how they were treated when they first communicated they were pregnant. And some of them have gone through a lot. And so having to see that this is a time, the 6-month period is a time for them to reflect on what they wanted to do. It gives them a time to calm down from the many fingers that are pointing at their mistake and just concentrating on who they wanted to be and who they are and working on it. It gives them that new chance of them thinking about their goals again. How do they refresh their goals? And for me, that is the turning point of teenage girls. Imagine a person who is 18, who is 17. They have so much to live for. But if no one is holding their hands at this point, then we will have adults who will be even more needier in the society. They'll be more vulnerable in the society. And this is the society that I'm in. So when I do this, that's what I think about. I think of adults that will be taking care of their own responsibilities without needing handouts. And I'm looking at young girls who have a future that they can still live up to, only if they can start at some point. So it is a turning point for them. So we started in 2021, and in 2021 we got 8 girls to graduate. In 2022 we had 8. In 2023 we had the same number up to 2024. And in 2025 we got a bigger space. And so we took in 12 girls at the beginning of 2025, and we had another 10 from June to July. So usually we have 2 cohorts. This year we have 15 that are currently in the program, and hopefully they all graduate at the same time. Yes, I look back and I think about the dreams that I had. I think about being in school, in high school, in primary school, and the things I did as a young woman. And so looking at these girls having a responsibility of a child, and I'm thinking, it's already hard when you are a grown-up and raising children. So I try to imagine at that age how they must be feeling. What are they missing out? And so how do we bravely embrace this and tell them you can still be, a teenager just with responsibilities? And that's what I look at when I look at these young women. I look at the hopes, the dreams. Sometimes they talk about, how 25 will look like, how 30-year-old would look like. And whenever I talk to them, they think that is very far away. And it reminds me when I was that young. When I was 19, I was 18, and I was thinking about the day I'll be 30. And so now, as an over 30, I look at it and I'm thinking, these young women have a lot to look forward to. And 5 years, 6 months, 10 years can be a life-changing for any person, any woman. Where I am today, I did not see it as it was when I was in their teenage years. So I know they have goals and there are places they will be in the next 10 years. And that's mainly how I look at it. And I tell them, once upon a time I was your age. And once upon a time you'll get to my age. So we get to laugh about that a lot. So whenever they come in, they're so scared. They wonder who you are and why are you doing this? Remember, some of these girls have gone through rejection from their own parents. And I say this because some of them that we have received is because they were either working as a house help and they came to us for help, or they were being housed by a stranger. And so when you tell them, we offer this training for you just to come in for 6 months, we'll provide the basic needs, we will take you through training, and you'll end up being a tailor at the end of it. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of promises that they have been offered before, and no one fulfilled those. And so the first few days, it's just us looking at each other like, no trust built yet. Then they sit in and they see that you have given them a pack. So when they come in, we give them a package to welcome them in that has sanitary pads. It has lotion, a soap, a toothbrush, a toothpaste, some undergarments. And they look at you and they say, oh, how did you know I didn't have this? We don't, but we know it is a basic need for every woman. We give them a mirror, we give them some combs, and we give them a bed and some blankets and warm food. And we tell them, you're here with us. This is your home for the next 6 months, and we'll be providing these basic needs for you. All you need to do is to wake up and go to class and come back. And that looks like a lot of promise until they leave after a week or two and they see, oh, it's true, we are seated here, we have, we work together, we bring them together as we cook, and we just have devotion together, and they realize, okay, we're here to stay, and now they start focusing on their classes. They get scared of the machine. Most of them, when they look at our production team, because we have a production team in place as well, and they look at how they work on the machines and how they've seen the bags once they are done, and some of them tell you, I don't think I can be able to do it, or they come with the mentality that they fell pregnant because they were not bright enough. And so when they start pedaling and they learn, because that's a week-long, pedaling days, and they start pedaling and they start getting comfortable with the pedaling and they learn about the machine, they start becoming comfortable. Comfortable in the sense where they start believing they can be able to do it. But the initial, I've had girls who have signed up to come, and then when they get to the program, they ask, can I learn something else like hairdressing? I don't think I can manage doing sewing. And we just smile because we've seen a lot of the girls that fear just learning how to pedal and bringing a material into a product. And usually that's the one fear. The second fear would be whether they will stay there until the end. Because remember, these are teenage moms. They have babies at home. And so they worry because maybe the guardian says, go and work as a house help, bring the money home, and I can take care of your baby. And now they have to stay there being taken care of, but their babies are back with the guardian, or, they don't know how their babies go through. But the amazing thing is, most of these girls, even as they get, the basic provisions being provided for, they think their mind and mindset is like for a mother. And they always think about their babies. So some of them would say, I wish I was here with my baby, to feed my baby with this, to be able to have not to worry about whether my baby is feeding or not. And I think those are the fears, being away from their babies and whether they'll ever learn how to sew. I want to see these young women, as many as we can, one teenage mom or one vulnerable young woman at a time, getting inspired to pursue their goals. Tailoring is not just to make them be tailors. When they're there at that time, when they're able to see that they're able to sew something into a product, one of the things that we are trying to boost is actually their brain on how to focus again on what they want it to be. It's 6 months. Once the baby, and I tell them this, once the baby is grown, you can pursue other courses that you want. You're here for 6 months, you can start making some bags, put them on TikTok or on Instagram, start earning some money, take yourself to pursue more goals. If you wanted to be computer literate, if you wanted to be a driver, some of them, want to pursue other dreams, but this is the starting point for them. They're able to start earning from something that allows them to focus on their goals and also to pursue, many other things that they wanted in life. So for us, I believe this is just the turning point for them. I want the name Imani Program to be in so many households because of the transformation that it brings in our society. We have gone through so many counties already and so many young girls. We are at 66 right now in numbers. And just the ripple effect of those 66 in different parts of Kenya helps us feel that we are doing something good. And just seeing these girls pursue different things, or even for those people who support us through buying some of our products, and they have an Imani bag or they have an Imani clothing, which has helped in the sustainability of that program, helps us see that Imani is the faith that we are spreading around. We want as many as we can reach to just have that in their lives. Proudest moment for me is during graduation. I can actually say proud and the saddest because every cohort that comes brings in different personalities. I've had 66 girls into the program. And I can tell you I've met so many different personalities, and I've learned each time. We've had girls who are brilliant. They came in and they assist even the trainers on what to do. They give you motivation on what you're doing. Some of them would come in and take up a role of a leader, and they lead the rest of the girls into who they become. And we've also seen girls that we felt, they stepped in and we felt like this one is going to be a hard job. And then they surprise us and they turn around and become good tailors. They become great women. They look focused by the time it's their 3rd month in the program. And so we really don't know how to expect or what to expect in the personalities that we see. So I can actually say that we get surprised every time the new cohorts come in. And that is, I think, the fun part about it. You meet different people, different personalities around you. And so, but one of the proudest things is most of them get to accept that they're now mothers, and they will take up the responsibility. So initially when they come into the program, they talk about mainly their dream is to get married, find somebody who will accept their children or their babies. And by the time they're able to see what they can be able to do with their legs in pedaling and hands in designing and their brain in coming up with the different designs, we meet a different person in the 1st month and a completely different and transformed girl by the time they're graduating in their 6th month. So that always surprises us, because by then they're talking about how they will work together. They want to do a different they want to live in a different town. For example, like Mary, the girl that we initially had, was staying in Kenango, but she ended up moving to Nairobi and finding a completely different life in Nairobi. So this opens up their mind to different counties also. I think also bringing them together from different parts of Kenya helps us and helps these young women to know that there is more outside where they come from. And so those are the things that I'm proud mostly about. That their dreams are still valid, in the sense that being a mother is not supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to be the proudest period of your life. It has come early, that's a surprise, but delaying your dreams does not mean you have abandoned it. So what I remind them is that their dreams and passions have been delayed. They can still pursue it once the baby is grown or the babies are grown. And now they need just to have another plan of action towards their goal. If their goal was to go through high school, college, and then work, a baby comes when they're in high school. They need to decide whether they want to go back to high school and finish and sit for their KCSE, or do they want to pursue a skills training course that can also put food on their table. So those are the options that they get to look at. When you have several of them seated together and they all talk about their ambitions. And so that's our belief back at Imani. We are a hands-up ministry, meaning that we make products for sustainability. So when you see our products online from Instagram, which is Imani Program Shop, or you go to our page and decide to sponsor a girl into the program, you can do all these things in a way to support the program as it runs. We have a website as well, Imani Program Shop as well, on our website and on our Instagram. and we're also on TikTok. So if you buy a product, all our proceeds go back to providing the basic needs that each girl requires during their training. You can offer to buy sewing machines and bring to our institution. Our location is around Banana in Kiambu County. And we're very close to Ruaka. So mainly it is easier for me to tell you, while you're in Ruaka, we are about 10 minutes away. So that's the way you can get in touch with us. Thank you so much for joining us and watching us and giving us time to just hear about us. Imani Program is about giving a skill, showing somebody how to fish. And that is what we want to do with our society. We want to see young women standing in their own feet and pursuing their goals in future so that we can have families that are built together. We are in support of children's homes, but we also feel like if more of these girls get a training, they can take care of their own children. We will not have so many falling in the hands of children's homes. And our focus is to have a family unit and to see these young girls being able to raise their children in their own homes and providing for their own children. I believe that is the best, the best thing that a mother is able to provide for their own family. And so, thank you so much for giving us your time, and you're free to come and visit and just see these women and talk to them and volunteer in any capacity that you feel like you would like to contribute, and buy our products as well. Thank you.